Chris, what is our fourth main topic today?
This comes from Christopher Brickner. It's official. After much speculation, especially after Free Guy, Shawn Levy is confirmed as the director of Deadpool 3, making it his third straight collaboration with Ryan Reynolds. In a surprise twist, it was also announced that Rhett, Reese, and Paul Wernick were returning to write the script after being too busy to work on it earlier. What do you think of this news?
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in, Christopher. And I could not be happier. I really couldn't. I couldn't be more thrilled. I think this is great. Now, if either of the first directors of the first two Deadpools had come back, I would have been thrilled with that, completely thrilled with that as well. But I'll tell you what, watching Free Guy, which starred Ryan Reynolds, directed by Shawn Levy, and then watching The Adam Project, starring Ryan Reynolds, directed by Shawn Levy. And I didn't like The Adam Project as much as Free Guy. I enjoyed it quite a bit, but I didn't like it as much as Free Guy. But still,
very different movie.
Very different movie. But what you could tell watching those two movies was that Shawn, as a director, really knows how to tap in and allow the unique talents of Ryan Reynolds really to sing a lot. I mean, it's something very special that happens when the right director is paired with the right performer. You know, I talk a lot about, look what James Gunn was able to do with Dave Bautista, right? Like, Dave Bautista, in his own words, said, you know, I'm not a great thespian. I'm so blessed that I get to do this and be in movies and fulfill a dream. And he's gotten pretty good. But at the time when he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, he wasn't there yet. But he got matched with a director that really knew how to let the what was really good in Dave Bautista to really shine. Now, Ryan Reynolds is already much further ahead than that. He is a great, I think, legitimate Oscar caliber actor. He should have been nominated for Academy Award for Buried. I've said that many times. But again, watching these two movies, you're like, wow, like Levy as a director really knows how to work with Ryan here to bring out these aspects and really make it work. And together they know how to build something of movies around those particular talents. And the things that I adored about the Adam Project was all that, right? And so I was really kind of thinking, man, you know what? He would make a good director for Deadpool 3. And, you know, eventually I'd like to see Ryan Reynolds do a movie with Hugh Jackman. And of course, he has directed Hugh Jackman in one of my favorite Hugh Jackman roles in Real Steel. So, I mean, there's that too. And I love that movie as well. So I remember thinking to myself, like, I would really like to see Shawn Levy direct this. I mean, I'm sure there's other directors who'd be great too. But I think right off the top of my head, I'd love to see Shawn Levy. And then the word came out. Ryan Reynolds got on social media, said that their next partnership together would be a lot more stabby. With a picture of Deadpool on it. Anyway, this comes just from the folks over at the Hollywood Reporter who write the following. Shawn Levy has been tapped, or maybe it should be targeted, to direct Deadpool 3. The director is in negotiations to team up with star Ryan Reynolds for the Marvel property after previously collaborating on 20th Century's pandemic-era hit Free Guy and the just-released sci-fi adventure film The Adam Project on Netflix. Frequent Reynolds collaborators Rhett, Reese, and might be the most important part of this story, collaborators Rhett, Reese, and Paul Wernick, who penned the scripts for the first two films, are now working on Deadpool 3. And the reason I say this one might be even more important is because they were not attached to write Deadpool 3 before. And I'm like, ooh, that's a big loss. Now, I have met these guys. They have been in my studio. I've had a chance to sit down, talk with them. These guys are tremendously gifted, talented writers, and they totally get Deadpool. And them and Ryan Reynolds are in perfect lockstep with where to go. And I was really, if there was anything I was concerned about at Deadpool 3, has been that it doesn't look like these guys are going to be back to write, but they are. So it's like, check. There you go. Now, some people might say, well, wait a minute, why are we saying that he's going to be directing when it's said in that story that he's in negotiations to direct? Look, when you're at the point that Ryan Reynolds is putting out on social media that he's directing it, it's done. He's going to be the director of this. And this does a couple of exciting things. So exciting thing number one, Shawn Levy directing, working with Ryan Reynolds again. Their last two collaborations has been wonderful. So big thumbs up from me. Number two, this is the most official thing we've heard that Deadpool 3 is a go. Like once you start attaching a director to it, the movie's happening. They're moving forward. This is a real thing. They're moving forward. Exciting thing number three, of course, we have the writers there. And that to me made the last 24 hours for Deadpool fans a very, very happy day. And again, I would have been equally as thrilled or completely excited about either of the two previous directors coming back because they each did a fantastic job. But if it's not one of those two, Shawn Levy, I think with what they've shown the partnership between him and Ryan Reynolds can be, I think this is glorious. I'm very excited about this, and I cannot wait. I expect to hear, I'm going to tell you this right now. We're going to get a assload of Deadpool 3 news in the very, very short term. Very, very shortly, we're going to be getting assloads of new Deadpool 3 information. So, but whatever. I'm thrilled about this information. I love this franchise so much. Anyway, Rob, you heard Shawn Levy's going to be in there directing this, working with Ryan Reynolds. And look, we got Reese and Wernick coming back. It looks like everything's moving ahead with Deadpool 3. What are your thoughts today?
I think it's great. I mean, look, I think everybody, the first Daredevil, the first Deadpool was a surprise. I mean, obviously, I'm a fan of Tim Miller's, but I think that we were all taken aback by just how good Deadpool 1 actually turned out to be.
Yes.
So clever, so funny, so well done, and Ryan Reynolds was perfect in the part. And Deadpool 2 also outperformed Deadpool 1. And I thoroughly enjoyed the addition of Zazie Beetz and Josh Brolin and Negasonic Teenage Warhead
And Brad Pitt. Don't forget Brad Pitt's edition.
Brad Pitt's a cameo. I mean, it's a franchise that I think puts a smile on everyone's face. And again, what I really like is having a director-actor collaboration, and clearly both with Free Guy and the Adam Project, obviously Shawn Levy and Ryan Reynolds seem to have a good working relationship. And I think that, Shawn Levy also, I would imagine I don't know him personally, but he's a director who would they probably try some things, improv, and the craziness that makes up the Deadpool films, I think will be carried forward in a very interesting way by the two of them. So I'm looking forward to it. The questions I have, John, of course, is this third movie going to be in the Marvel Universe? Is it going to bring Deadpool into the Marvel Universe? How is it going to work? We know it's going to be R-rated. They said it's going to be R-rated. Is it going to be a Fox film? I've got a lot of questions from just a fanboy releasing status, but I'm excited, man. I think this movie's overdue. They should have had it. They should have had it already in the hopper. But no, I'm excited, man. This sounds great to me. I'm in. And obviously, if both of them are talking about it and Ryan Reynolds is tweeting about it, he's excited, and that's what you want.
I mean, what director right now would not be excited about doing Deadpool? Yeah. I mean, he's
tweeting about it.
He's tweeting about it. He's online
retweets
tweeting
of being
about
like, let me just put some emojis and not say anything about me being in talks with Deadpool.
No, it's great. And, I'll tell you, Free Guy, there's something about Free Guy that transcends what it is.
Yeah.
And I think that relationship, the director-actor relationship, did carry over into the Adam Project. And I like there's a wholesomeness to it.
Yeah.
I want to see them get unwholesome.
But here's the thing, even with Deadpool, like this is something that I really love about things like The Boys, Doom Patrol, and Deadpool. One of the best things about Deadpool that makes it not just raunchy funny, but actually really good movies to watch is beneath all the wild unwholesomeness.
It's heartwarming.
It is heartwarming. I mean, when you get to the first Deadpool movie, it's really a movie that is motivated and driven by a man's love for a woman.
Yeah.
And what he's willing to do and the sacrifices he's willing to make and then dealing with the consequences of those choices. Like when you move beyond all the fantastic bonkersness of it, there's some, and even when you get into the second thing, it's about a man and the loss that he suffered. I mean, that to me is what transcends the Deadpool films, just from being bonkers fun movies to really good movies.
Well, in a way, I should, if now that I'm thinking about it, they are kind of wholesome as far as R-rated wholesomeness can be, and The Boys doesn't have any of that. There's no wholesomeness. I mean, that new trailer, I'm like, there's no wholesomeness in here.
But even The Boys, I mean,
I don't know. French's relationship with the.
I mean,
I think that's a little sweet. When she's not ripping off heads, I think that's nice.
But anyway, Chris, you have a chance. You're hearing about this. Shawn Levy being connected to it. What's your reaction to this?
I love this. I think this is so great. I went home Friday and rewatched Adam Project. So I watched it at 5 a.m. for this show. And then I went home and watched it again with my husband because he didn't get to see it with me. And I liked it even more the second time. I love that they are going to be working together. Ryan Reynolds has just been making secret romance movies all the time. they're pitched to us as action adventure or sci-fi or stuff. They're all secretly romances at the heart of them. And I love that. I think it's great. There's this really, really great clip of Ryan speaking with the Hollywood Reporter talking about Shawn saying, I realize the rare air we're breathing when we get to work together. And I think that is such a great summation of the kind of work that they pull out when they get to be collaborators. And that's ultimately what you want too as an actor. Oh my gosh, what a gift when your director is collaborating with you and you really feel like you are cooking with gas, you are making jazz. That is what's so exciting about these two pairing up.
Yeah.
And I think bringing on those screenwriters again too, who are, in addition to Ryan's own voice, the voice of Deadpool, right? Really getting his tonality, really understanding his comedy stylings, but really understanding that character. And again, those notes of secret romance, that bit of longing, loss, all of those things that make this a really rich, dynamic character. I think this is just a recipe for success.
I've got a totally out of left field question. With the way Deadpool 2 ends and all the stuff going on there, is there any chance Marina Baccarin is in this? Is in Deadpool 3?
I think it's absolutely possible.
I mean, I certainly would love to see that. And this is an interesting dynamic too. There's a very interesting dynamic at play here, in that normally when a director is directing the film, like they're the boss, like that's 95% of the time. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows that Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds' thing. This is his baby. It is his package. It is whatever. So there's also an interesting dynamic there. And I think that's why when we hear Ryan Reynolds talk about, I just love being able to collaborate with him. I think that settles and puts that, because normally I've said on the show before, I'm very cautious about films where the director is not clearly the one who has authority over set, and that when an actor has actual more authority over a movie than a director, I'm very, very squeamish about those situations. I don't think that's a good mixture.
No.
But I think that can work very, very well here, because they have already shown that they work well together. They play off each other. They know how to bring out the best in each other. And so because of that, I'm pretty interested. Now, I've read some people writing saying, well, I can't remember Shawn Levy doing an R-rated film before. That means that Deadpool 3 is going to be rated PG-13. No way. I mean, Kevin Feige has already said ages ago that the one thing they're going to do rated R is Deadpool. Kevin Feige's already said that. He's already put that out there, so you can put all those concerns to rest. Because while I said before the first Deadpool came out that you could do Deadpool PG-13, there's a way you can do it. And I believe that. But once you have Deadpool, there's no going back. You cannot go back to PG-13 with this Deadpool character once you've done the things in these Deadpool movies that you've done. So I have zero doubt they're going to remain this thing as a rated R. Rob, do you have any questions or doubts about that?
No, I think they have to stay. They have to stay rated R. But again, the fanboy in me is like, okay, Deadpool exists in the Fox X-Men universe. So the question, John, has to be asked. We're now we're less than 2 months away from a multiverse of madness. And we know that Patrick Stewart, established in the Fox X-Men franchise, is going to be in this movie. Where, like, Deadpool could fit in somehow. I mean, if there's anything, if a multiverse can be madness, full of madness, who is the most mad character in the entirety of the entire Marvel universe? So I'm curious. You want to bring Marina Baccarin back? I mean, if Deadpool's like, he's already skipping through time, changing stuff around, messing with the timeline. He's already done that, and that's canonical in the Deadpool movies. Well,
it's canonical in the Deadpool movies, but is anything in the Deadpool movies truly canonical? Remember, this is Fox continuity, schmontinuity.
I know.
X-Men's universe.
Where
really canon.
Within the continuities, they've done Days of Future Past. They've changed their timelines. They've done all kinds of things. So the question, John, because I'm a big geek and I love the MCU, where does it all fit in? Or does it?
Or does it? Does it fit in at all? Anyway, I've got a lot of questions going into this, but I'm sure they're going to keep it rated R. That thing I have no doubt. The question keeps coming up because there are new rumors going around about like brand new ones. Like there were the old ones a few weeks ago, but there are brand new rumors about maybe Deadpool showing up in Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness. And I am sticking with, I have been told directly by a very, very close source to the thing that no, Deadpool is not going to be in Doctor Strange 2 in The Multiverse of Madness. And boy, will I be pissed if it turns out he is.
Yeah, but with this new announcement, the way that they're able to work their marketing campaigns, I mean, the stuff that they were able to pull off at the last minute, I could see. There's also, I read a report that maybe Sam Raimi was going to sign on for Doctor Strange 3. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff out there.
I would love that.
I wouldn't put it past anyone to come up with something in the next month.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
stick it in the movie.
They are still shooting scenes right now for Doctor Strange 2. They're still doing some pickup shoots for Doctor Strange 2 right now. So
I don't think you can say anything honestly about these movies, though. Like, I've had to sign NDAs for very, very small projects. If I was in the MCU and I wasn't allowed to tell anyone, I wouldn't tell my mother. I'm so friggin' terrified of Disney lawyers. Whoo! I don't believe anyone when they talk about this.
Yeah, I mean, and also with the way Ryan Reynolds and Shawn Levy work, what if they came up with something this afternoon? And they're like, hey, we have an idea.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the kind of people, and they have the clout. I mean, I would imagine that Ryan Reynolds could actually has Kevin Feige on speed dial and go, Shawn and I came up with this thing. What do you say? And what's Kevin Feige going to do?
Again, I was told by a very, very close source to this that I absolutely depend on that said there will be no Deadpool in this movie. We'll find out. Yeah. We'll find out. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? I think this is tremendously exciting news that we're going to have Shawn Levy. I mean, the partnership that him and Ryan Reynolds have had together with Free Guy, the Adam Project, has been very, very good. It's going to be excellent to see what they can do in a Deadpool 3. What are you guys expecting? Do you guys maybe think that this could be a harbinger that maybe we'll get a PG-13 Deadpool? I don't think so, but maybe you see some possibilities. Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of this video, ExpressVPN. Now, guys, does it make sense that the same company who controls half the online retail also passively eavesdrops on your private conversations at home? Or what about the idea that a single company controls 90% of the internet searches, runs your email service, and gets to track everything you do on your smartphone? You guys know that big tech is more powerful than most countries are, and they profit by exploiting your personal data. It's time to put a layer of protection between your online activity and these tech juggernauts, and that's why I use ExpressVPN. You see, when you run ExpressVPN on your device, the software hides your IP address, something that big tech companies can use to personally identify you. So ExpressVPN makes your activity harder to trace and sell to advertisers. ExpressVPN also encrypts 100% of your internet data to keep you safe from hackers and eavesdroppers on your network. So stop handing over your personal data to the big tech monopoly that mines your activity and sells your information. Protect yourself with a VPN that I trust to keep me safe online. Visit expressvpn.com/Campea. That's expressvpn.com/Campea to get 3 extra months free. Go to expressvpn.com/Campea right now to learn more.